The following segment follows the lives led by the deceased crew of the Mary Jane. What you hear are the audio files recovered from the crew's memory drives. As customary warning, there is swearing, violence, and discussion of dubious themes. If you experience any sort of discomfort during your time with us, turn off the entries, and when you're ready, begin again. This entry will begin playing now.
Log date. God, I don't know. Log 4318. Honestly. So we've had baby for a few weeks now, and we are no closer to finding her origin planet. And it's not like she can give us the answer with all of that babble. Not to mention the crew is insufferable with her. Truly a cruel twist of fate. Tiff just had to suddenly feel all these things like responsibility and morals. Had to save the day. The child is, of course, really adorable. I will admit that. But there's no logic to the plan. We are on a mission, a long, seemingly never-ending mission, but we have a duty. Surely that should be taken into account. And now that she's very curious about the most random items she finds aboard the ship, I am on constant babysitting duty. And despite her laugh being contagious, it begs me to ask, what about her? Maybe we can just put sign on babysitting duty on a rock floating in space, perhaps, while we scour the whole damn galaxy for...
Robert, we have a situation.
I am aware. We have an infant aboard the ship, we have to detour our mission, and you keep interrupting my logs.
You'll need to add that to the list in just a moment.
Of course I do. What could it possibly be now?
There is a horse on the ship.
What?
There is a mammalian creature called an Equus cabilis, or commonly known as horse, aboard our ship, the Mary Jane.
Fuck off. No way.
We are trying to find out now, and your help wouldn't be turned away. Tiff and Cyan are trying to keep it calm and watch baby while Maggie is investigating the Mary Jane. I need you to take Tiff's spot in order for us to search our databases for a suitable place to drop it off.
Why not just launch it from the airlock?
You can't just launch all our problems from the airlock, Robert. It would die.
No shit. Really? Well, shall we?
It's about time, Robert. I've gotten it to calm down, but
horses are easily spooked and agitated, and it would be best if you could remain in its clear line of sight.
What are you, a horse expert? Colin the equestrian riding in on...
I am unable to find any footage of the animal entering the ship.
Are you saying that it just appeared?
There were no life-supporting planets that we've recently encountered that could have had this animal thriving on it. There's no footage of it walking in here, and based on its size, it certainly couldn't fit through the vents. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm stumped.
How is this possible?
Well, it certainly didn't appear from thin air.
that certainly seems to be the case here, Robert.
Or maybe Maggie's video feed is broken. What do you want me to say?
Oh, you're now suddenly an expert on how Maggie works?
At least my eyes are working well enough to see that the horse couldn't have just waltzed in here. Methinks there might be a slight defect.
Friggin' take that back, you damn pile of wires!
Not now, you two.
Don't you two think we have bigger things to worry about at the moment? Like, I don't know, the horse that's on our ship?
No shit! We're well aware of the fucking horse!
Are you though, Robert? Because I'm not sure you're aware.
What's that supposed to mean? Of course. Where the fuck is it? Tiff! Where did it go?
How the hell would I know?
You were just patting it. It was right here.
Frick off, Robert! Maggie, where is it now?
It has relocated to the bridge, Tiff.
How is that possible?
We have to neutralize it. The large animal could easily damage the Mary Jane if it feels threatened or frightened.
Robert, you take baby. The rest of us will go to the bridge.
This is absurd. Why should I... Whoa, careful with her sign.
Robert, we do not have time for this. I'll go and keep her calm. Hello, mon ami. Everything will be fine. Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Tiff, we should begin scanning this sector to see if there are any supporting planets nearby.
So far, the only supporting planet... Oh. Would also slowly poison it due to air toxicity.
I'll go through the database. Maybe there's something tucked away that we passed recently enough that doubling back on it wouldn't be too out of the way.
It is not possible for us to return the horse to Earth at this point.
Maggie,
Yes, Colin?
I'd like to look at your video feeds.
Colin, I can assure you that regardless of what Robert says, my video feed is working at full capacity. I can tell you that even now, Robert is considering taking baby back to the supply closet to continue her log.
Oh, that might be concerning. But of course, Maggie, I am merely curious and I trust your ability. When's the last time we opened the bay doors to allow something that large to pass through?
The record shows it has been 8 weeks since it was last opened, to pick up samples Sign was researching.
Those awful plants? The ones that have teeth? That can grow an appetite for nuts and bolts too, you know.
Well, they are completely non-sentient, and they are contributing to the atmospheric oxygen supply on the ship, you turd.
Sign is right, Tiff. Besides, the plants have not begun to sing about eating people. We have little to worry about until they do.
Was this really the time to make a little shop reference?
Colin, I've procured the feed from the last time the door was opened.
Start it, please, Maggie.
Don't you think this is a little... I don't know, excessive? 5 full crates. How many plants could you need? Are you starting a nursery, planning to sell rare, exotic plants to vendors across the galaxy? I mean, I'm sure there's such a large market for that.
Robert.
Well, there would be, wouldn't there? Robots that don't have to worry about breathing in toxic fumes and stars knows what else is detrimental to the health of the humans out here.
Robert, we have already analyzed the potential dangers of those planet and...
Yes, of course, but I'm saying that we'd have a much easier time selling these exotic... whatevers.
We are not trying to create a profit here, Robert.
Yeah, but just imagine all the units we could make.
What? What would you even do with units? What would you possibly use them for?
Buy a hat?
Are you going to stand there and rant, or are you going to help us?
I'm going to stand here and rant.
Well, I certainly didn't see a horse walk on during the feed. Did you?
Is it possible that it could have gotten onto the ship much prior to this?
It's very unlikely. Mammals need food and water to survive, or they will die. I don't think it's even probable, considering it was 8 weeks ago. We do not have a heavy amount of those particular supplies here on the ship, and our current stock of that is taking care of baby.
And this horse does not seem to have any nutritional deficiencies. I would say it looks as healthy
Don't.
as a horse.
So then how did it get on the ship?
Regardless, it can't stay here.
Truly, you are the most observant bot I have ever met. I'm sorry, look, of course it can't stay here. We're just minutes away from it shitting all over the floor, and who knows what kind of diseases it's carrying, and germs. It could infect baby.
Thanks for the status update, Robert.
You are very welcome, Captain.
Captain,
Yeah, Megs?
there's a planet we'll be passing in several hours that can sustain the horse.
Friggin' finally! Let's set a course for that planet and...
But there is one slight issue.
Of course there is.
Robert, hush.
The planet is inhabited by an alien life that is known to consume carbon-based life forms.
What do we care if the horse gets eaten? I mean, then we'd have less of an issue.
If we are intercepted, there are 2 carbon-based life forms on the Mary Jane that would be in danger, Robert.
Point taken. Well then, back to launching it out the airlock?
No.
Well, it's not like you 3 are trying to fix this.
I disagree. I believe we are all trying our best.
For now, let's just bring it down to the brig. If we can contain it there, then we can have some semblance of control here.
Yes, for now that seems to be the best option.
Come on, girl.
To go? Well, sign, lock the beast up.
At least it's contained.
But how did it even...
If someone asks how it got on the ship one more time, I'm launching myself out of the airlock.
Maggie, is there anywhere aboard the ship where you don't have any visual?
Only a few locations. Certainly none of them large enough for a horse to inhabit, but the vents and the storage closet.
Well, it's clear what we have to do then.
It is?
Yes. We have to check the vents.
What?
Well, it certainly wasn't in the supply closet. I've been doing my logs in there.
What makes you think, even a little bit, that it could come from the vents?
How did it get from the lower deck to the bridge while we were watching?
Maybe, just maybe, because of your terrible observation skills?
You acting like a jerk and yelling at me?
Okay, you mean to tell me, swearing to all the stars in the sky, that none of us saw it move or heard it? Colin?
I did not.
So how do you propose we check the vents then, Robert? Maggie said she had no visual.
Simple. It's up to Tiff.
Excuse me?
Well, being the shrimp of us all, you're the only one who will fit in the vent.
Who said anything about going in the vents?
I did. Clearly, I just said it. Did I not? I thought I just did. I thought I said that. Colin, did you hear what I said?
Robert, I'm not going in the vents.
Well, someone has to go check it, don't they? And who better than our resident plankton?
This is absurd.
I'm not supportive of this. But Tiff, you have to admit that this could be our only opportunity to check the vents.
I am not going in the vents. What could we possibly expect to find in there?
Miniature horses?
Or an integrity issue, where if something that could theoretically teleport could get into.
Well, we can at least assume their horse isn't an earthly one. Do we have anything in the databases similar to a creature that can teleport?
If it even is teleporting.
Well, what do you call simultaneously disappearing in one location and then reappearing in another?
Well, what if it's not teleporting? What if it can change its size and then move around from there?
Oh, what if it just turns invisible?
Wouldn't we have still heard it?
It didn't turn invisible. It can't change size. It teleported.
Oh, because you're an alien horse expert too?
Oh, yes, and I know that if they can shrink in size, then they will be the perfect fit to shove up your...
So it's up to Tiff to go into the vents then. Don't be nervous, Tiff. I can still talk to you in the vents. I just won't be able to see you.
See, Tiff, Maggie will be with you the entire time. Think of her disembodied voice as, your spirit guide.
Tiff, if anything goes wrong, Maggie can tell us. There'll always be open communication.
Don't be a coward, Tiff. Let's pull up a map of the ventilation system and see where you can get the best route to check the entire thing.
This is ridiculous.
We'll go back up to the bridge and look up a map.
Right. Robert and I will stay here with Baby and the horse.
Now then, Maggie, where do we keep the blueprints for the Mary Jane?
I've pulled them up here, Sign.
Can we isolate the ventilation system?
Oh, that's not so bad.
Not so bad, it looks like a friggin' maze!
Yes, but Maggie will be able to estimate where you are in the vents and thus we'll be able to guide you through them. You won't get lost.
Sign's right, Tiff.
Maggie, come on, don't make me do this.
You are our captain, Tiff. You give the orders.
Maggie, play album 3, track 6. Make sure I can hear it the entire time.
Of course, Captain. Playing album 3, track 6. Now.
1, 2, 3. I got a whole lot of patches in my shirt, and you've got some more in your skirt. Maybe we could talk for a while. The song changes tune and your hair grows long, and I thought maybe I'd write you a song. It goes la da da dee da, la da dee da. We don't need nobody to tell us what's good and bad. We'll sail the whole world just so you don't have to be sad. And I know it won't always work. We don't go a night without a fight. But without you in my life, there would be no light. La da da dee da, la da dee da. La da da dee da, la da dee da. We won't go to bed until 3 a.m. and maybe even then, I don't know when. Oh, maybe we could talk for a while. And in the morning I promise we'll fool around. And oh, I just love it when you make those sounds like la da da dee da, la da dee da. We don't need no money or rules to tell us what is so. No one in the universe could make my heart speed up and go from your eyes down to your toes. It don't really matter, but believe me, girl, I knows life can't get any sadder with la da da dee da, la da dee da. La da da dee da, la da dee da. Raise your hands up, raise them high. Lift your hands up to the sky. Raise your hands up, raise them high. Lift your hands up to the sky. Got a whole lot of patches in my shirt, but you've got some more in your skirt. Maybe we should talk for a while. No time to waste, we can play all day and then we'll dance the night away. 'Cause I promise you these holes aren't gonna stay. I promise you these patches will fade away with a little bit of la da la da da dee da, la da dee da. La da da dee da, la da dee da. La da da dee da, la da da dee, la da dee da, la da dee dee, la dee da, la dee da.
So, Tiff is in the vents then?
Yes, she has started in the ventral quarters and is working her way up. In the meantime, I think it would be good for us to go through the old databases and try to find a creature similar to these. If we could find its origin,
Then maybe we can return it home.
Or, you know, airlock. Well, see? Somebody likes my good ideas.
I'll get started on the sectors we were through last week.
Good idea. If this is something we picked up, it had to have been recently.
This isn't exactly what I had in mind when I woke up today. had to be built to the smallest. So typical. What does Robert really think I'll find in here other than dust?
It's all right, Tiff. You're doing great.
Doing great at wasting a bunch of time. Are the rest of them even trying to help?
Yes, Tiff. They're looking through our databases now.
And I assume Sign is with the horse?
Actually,
What?
no one is with the horse right now.
Are you freaking kidding me? This possibly teleporting horse, and they're just leaving it alone?
I'm watching her, Tiff. There's no cause for alarm.
Well, maybe I should go back and...
You're almost through with this first deck. I think it would be best just to continue what you're doing here, and you can have this conversation with them afterwards.
I just don't like this.
I know. You'll be all right, Tiff.
It's just harder than I expected.
I wasn't aware of your fear of enclosed spaces. We should have tried to see if Sign could fit through instead. At least you're over halfway done now. You're on the second level.
I'm not afraid. No, I mean, I didn't think climbing through the vents would be like this.
Like what?
Like concerning that I'm going to be stuck in these vents forever.
Why would you think that?
Because I'm stuck.
Oh, that's not good. I'm certain you'll be fine. Just try to wriggle around.
Megs, I'm very much in here.
I'll call the others.
No, they'll never let me live this down.
What do you propose we do then?
It's so tight, and there were just a way to I don't know, expand the vents a little more, then I could move a little better.
There is a way to do that, but I'll need to inform the rest of the crew. We'll have to increase the temperature of the overall ship in order to...
No, just tell them there isn't anything up here, and I'll be down soon.
Aye, Tiff. Do you want me to keep talking to you?
Please.
Let me tell you, taking apart a ventilation system in mid-flight is not advised. Do not ever do that. It took us a day to navigate where the little gremlin was and figure out a way to get her out. Baby was laughing at us the entire time, so she was laughing so much and we were so busy that none of us realized that the horse was gone. It vanished into thin air. See, I still put my money into the teleporting theory, but I suppose we'll never figure it out. This horse remains an enigma. Maybe the horse was a sort of manifestation. Maybe it meant something. Like the horse just symbolized the absurdity of our existence, floating along without any real end in sight. Maybe the horse was really in all of us the entire time. The horse is us. Yeah. I like that.
Learn is produced under the Aster Podcasting Network. The voice of Robert was Ashley. The voice of Colin was Alex. The voice of Tiff was Lenny. The voice of Sign was Benny. The voice of Baby was Catherine. This episode was written by Megan, edited by Hannah, and created by me, Jade. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on tumblr.com/learn10 for updates, fan art, and more. In the words of Robert, see you out there.